The news flashed worldwide, capturing the attention of millions as the situation escalated. China issues final warning to Philippines over disputed shoal, a headline that sent ripples through international communities. This was no longer a simmering dispute, it was a direct challenge, a line drawn in the waters that sustained millions, threatening regional stability. The world watched with bated breath as the BRP Sierra Madre, a rusting Philippine naval vessel grounded on Ayungin Shoal, stood surrounded by imposing Chinese Coast Guard ships enforcing a blockade. This isolated outpost became the flashpoint for a modern David and Goliath story, with global implications that could reshape alliances. The tension radiated from the South China Sea to Washington and Tokyo, drawing in powerful nations into the fray. Every move, every radio call was scrutinized, analyzed, and debated by military strategists and diplomats alike. Would the Chinese ships act, escalating the situation further? Would the Philippine crew hold their ground, standing firm against overwhelming odds? These sailors weren't just defending a shoal, they were defending their nation's rights under international law, a testament to their resolve. The Philippines, outmatched in military and economic power, refused to back down, showcasing their courage and determination. Bolstered by new alliances and a renewed sense of purpose, they stood tall, united in their cause. This confrontation is about more than rocks and reefs. It's about freedom of navigation and the future of international order, a pivotal moment in history. The fate of the region now rests with the brave Filipino men and women holding the line, their courage inspiring many. Their stand is a test of whether might makes right, or if the rules still matter in a world increasingly defined by power struggles. The world holds its breath, waiting to see how this chapter in history will unfold. Beijing's message was blunt and unmistakable. Remove the grounded ship from Ayungin Shoal, or face severe consequences that could alter the region's stability. China claimed the Philippines had promised to do so years ago, a claim Manila firmly denies, stating no such agreement was ever made. The ultimatum was clear: China would take all necessary measures to safeguard what it considers its sovereignty. This was a threat of force, a clear escalation in the ongoing territorial dispute. For years, China has used gray zone tactics, water cannons, dangerous ship maneuvers, blinding lasers, to intimidate without triggering war. These tactics have been a hallmark of their strategy. But this ultimatum was different, a direct threat broadcast to the world, leaving no room for misinterpretation. Beijing's narrative, the Philippines is the illegal occupier, while China claims to be the rightful owner forced to act in defense. The message was aimed not only at Manila but also at Washington, testing America's resolve and commitment to its allies. For the Philippines, giving in would mean surrendering territory and setting a dangerous precedent for future conflicts. Standing firm risks confrontation with a far more powerful neighbor, a daunting prospect for any nation. Yet instead of breaking Manila's resolve, China's warning only hardened it, uniting the nation in defiance. The government's choice was becoming clear. Defiance, not submission, was the path they would take. The world watched closely to see if alliances would hold and how the international community would respond. The stakes had never been higher, with potential global implications. The line in the sand was now a line in the sea, a boundary that could define the future of the region. The Philippines did not stand alone. Its alliance with the United States was revitalized, with Washington reaffirming its defense commitments. An attack on Philippine vessels in the South China Sea would trigger U.S. support. Japan, wary of China's ambitions, became a crucial partner, providing patrol vessels, radar, and training. This trilateral cooperation, Manila, Washington, Tokyo, formed a united front. China's attempts to isolate the Philippines backfired, pushing Manila closer to its allies. Regular joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and coordinated patrols now send a powerful message. The Philippines, once seen as a weaker player, is now central to a strategic coalition. The alliance is more than military, it's diplomatic, economic, and symbolic. It signals to Beijing aggression will be met with collective resolve. The dispute is no longer bilateral, it's a matter of urgent international concern. The Philippines stands at the heart of a coalition defending a free and open Indo-Pacific. The world is watching and responding. The West Philippine Sea is now a stage for military and diplomatic buildup. China's Navy, Coast Guard, and maritime militia swarm disputed waters, intimidating without firing a shot. Filipino sailors and fishermen face this menacing presence daily. In response, the Philippines is modernizing, acquiring new ships, jets, and surveillance systems. Joint patrols and complex military exercises with the U.S., Japan, and others are now routine. These drills are no longer symbolic, they're a clear deterrent. Diplomatically, Manila exposes every Chinese harassment, winning the battle for global opinion. High-resolution images and videos counter Beijing's narrative. Embassies coordinate joint statements, reaffirming commitment to international law. But the danger is real. So many armed vessels in close quarters raise the risk of miscalculation. A single incident could spiral into crisis. Each side tests the other's red lines in a tense game on the high seas. The world wonders, when will the next crisis erupt? At the heart of the conflict are two irreconcilable worldviews. One rooted in historical claims and national pride, the other anchored in international law and the rules-based order. China's 9-dash line claims nearly the entire South China Sea, overlapping the exclusive economic zones of its neighbors, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. This sweeping claim covers vast areas rich in resources and vital shipping lanes. China treats this line as a non-negotiable border, asserting sovereignty based on centuries-old maps and historical narratives. The Philippines challenged this with law, not force, bringing a case to the Permanent Court of Arbitration under UNCLOS, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, seeking a peaceful resolution. In 2016, the tribunal ruled China's 9-dash line has no legal basis. Ayungin Shoal, also known as Second Thomas Shoal, is within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, granting Manila sovereign rights over its waters and resources. China rejected the ruling, calling it waste paper, and accelerated its island building, turning reefs into military bases and expanding its presence in disputed waters. These artificial islands now project Chinese power deep into Southeast Asia, altering the region's security landscape and raising tensions with neighboring countries. For Manila and its allies, the 2016 ruling is the legal bedrock of their position, a symbol of the international community's support for the rule of law. This is a fight to uphold the principle that all nations, big or small, must follow the same rules, ensuring fairness and stability in global affairs. For China, it's about national destiny and historical grievance, a matter of restoring what it sees as its rightful place in the world. These worldviews are on a collision course in the West Philippine Sea, where military and diplomatic tensions continue to escalate. The legal battle is far from over, with new cases and diplomatic efforts emerging as the dispute evolves. The stakes are nothing less than the future of the international order, and the outcome will shape the balance of power in Asia and beyond. Beyond geopolitics, this conflict is deeply personal. Filipino fishermen who have sailed these waters for generations now face constant intimidation. Chased from traditional fishing grounds, their livelihoods are at risk. Many are too afraid to fish. Incomes have plummeted. On the BRP Sierra Madre, soldiers endure isolation and tension surrounded by Chinese ships. Every resupply mission is a perilous ordeal. These men and women embody their country's defiance. Fishing communities document harassment, becoming citizen journalists. Coast Guard crews, outmatched but undeterred, protect their people with skill and courage. Their professionalism has made them national heroes. The psychological toll is immense. Families worry, soldiers brace for confrontation. Their stories put a human face on the conflict. This is about dignity, livelihood, and the right to live in peace. The Philippines has changed. Years of failed appeasement and unfulfilled promises from Beijing led to frustration and a new resolve. A wave of national pride swept the country. The current administration adopted assertive transparency, defending every inch of territory. President Marcos Jr. vowed never to cede Philippine land. Public support for the armed forces and Coast Guard soared. The slogan, "Atin Ito," this is ours, became a rallying cry. Filipinos now demand stronger alliances, especially with the U.S. The issue transcends politics, it's about national identity. Manila is no longer a passive victim, but a proactive leader. The nation's resolve is clear: defend its rights, shape its destiny. The South China Sea is a global crossroads. Over a third of world trade passes through these waters. Any conflict here would disrupt supply chains, spike prices, and threaten global stability. If one nation can seize control, it sets a dangerous precedent for the world. That's why countries far beyond Asia send ships to assert freedom of navigation. The region is also rich in oil, gas, and vital fisheries, resources millions depend on. China's attempts to block access threaten economic sovereignty across Southeast Asia. The struggle here is about more than territory. It's about the rules that govern the world. Will disputes be settled by law or by force? The outcome will shape the international order for decades. The world's peace, security, and prosperity are at stake. The South China Sea matters to everyone. The future of the West Philippine Sea hangs in the balance. Escalation risks devastating conflict and global economic shock. Continued coercion breeds mistrust and arms races. The alternative: diplomacy, dialogue, and respect for international law. The 2016 arbitral ruling offers a legal framework for peaceful resolution. ASEAN must find unity and push for a binding code of conduct. Open communication is vital to prevent accidents from spiraling. True strength is shown by resolving disputes peacefully, not by intimidation. The choice to de-escalate rests with Beijing. Decisions made now will echo for generations. The West Philippine Sea is a test of our commitment to peace and justice. The path of peace is harder, but it's the only way to a secure future for all.